What's going on, guys? It's BJ Show in the building. Now, I want to talk about God of War Ragnarok, and I don't want to compare it too much to Elden Ring because I feel like that's not really fair. One is Game of the Year and one is not. Now, I know some of you guys just got mad, and to be honest, listen, you got to get over it. God of War Ragnarok is a okay game, but to be honest, this entire game can be watched on YouTube, and you cannot. You just basically will get the exact same experience from watching this game on YouTube rather than playing it. It's the exact same thing. Now, the side roam missions on this game, I'm going to get into everything and why I just feel like God of War Ragnarok is a lackluster game, and these guys who's been praising this game, saying it should have won Game of the Year, my Game of the Year, God of War Ragnarok is so mature. God of War Ragnarok is just a very technical game that focus heavily on directive, storytelling, and gameplay. So, without further ado, man, we're gonna get right into the video. I was very excited. Of course, everyone was when they played the first 20 minutes of this game. Now, if you have not played this game or don't know what I'm talking about, you fight Thor. If you played God of War Ragnarok in 2018 and you made it all the way to the end, or if you just knew about it, you just knew that Kratos was in Norse mythology, the first thing that comes to your mind is Thor. Is he going to fight Thor? So the fact that you fight Thor in the first basically the first fight of the game is amazing. I have nothing to say about that first boss fight. Now, with that being said, I also thought that first boss fight was going to set the tone for the entire game. I thought that the entire God of War was going to be sequenced upon fighting these gods and there being drastic consequences. Atreus is still a young kid, but he's a god and he's very capable. But at the same time, Kratos is a person who is quite capable of great destructive power abilities. Like, he's very capable of destroying an entire pantheon, as we can see in the old God of War trilogy. So Thor, Odin, and everyone else in Norse mythology would kind of be very worried about him. As we can see in the first God of War, they wasn't looking for Kratos specifically, they were looking for the champion of the Jotnar, which would be his wife Freya. And we know, and I'm going to get into this as well, we know that Freya is the champion of the Jotnar. Also, we know that she wielded the Leviathan axe before Kratos, and she also stalemated Thor in a fight. So she is a giant. She has giant blood, the champion of the Jotnar, and also able to stalemate Thor. Now, keep that in mind, okay? Just keep all of that in mind. I'm not going to sit here and completely just say I know everything about the story in full depth, because the storyline really, in my opinion, was unnecessarily boring. I mean, really unnecessarily boring. From Atreus having no consequences to anything he does, to Kratos just not being the God of War, to all characters just basically not being themselves and just being a shell of themselves. The entire game is a very big juxtaposition, and I really hate it. Everything is a juxtaposition. Like I said, everybody is basically the opposite of their counterpart in their actual portrayals in the Norse mythology. Mimir always gets fucking one up by Freya. She might as well be the smartest person in the fucking verse. I mean, look at this, is what you literally call a Mary Sue. Listen to this. She was able to revive a fucking, like, a legendary being in God of War 2018 with just her magic, and she was still nerfed by Odin. They tell us everybody's nerfed due to Fimbulwinter.
Oh no. Something's wrong. My spell, I can feel it slipping.
Well, that's Fimbulwinter for you.
And on top of just enduring it for 4 to 5 years. So if all their stuff is gone, right, it just gives a very big excuse. Like, I don't give a fuck if Kratos had all of the weapons from God of War 2018 stacked upon and all the armor. Just because he lost all of that, Freya should not be a challenge to Kratos and Atreus. And you might say, oh well, Kratos, listen to the story. Kratos already said he didn't want to fight Freya because it ended in loss for him. He didn't want to fight her. Dude, and whenever fighting with the Valkyrie fight the first time, Kratos had no idea who he was fighting. He just completely thought he was fighting a Valkyrie. She was banging this nigga the fuck up. Can you make this make sense? She's a S tier fucking fighter. You know all the guys Kratos has fought over the years, all the magic. You know Mimir says, oh,
Brother, I've been meaning to ask. Your homeland. I'd heard the gods there wielded every flavour of power you could imagine. Lightning, fire, the whole lot.
As did I.
I'm pretty sure Kratos has some of the best, if not the best, battle IQ in the entire God of War verse. So how the fuck is this bitch just able to fucking bang with this nigga, man? And there's no really explanation given. There's no explanation given for this. There was Atreus there too, and Atreus gets separated, and he says, well, I would have done better if you were there. I mean, sure, you got someone there to spam arrows and fucking arrow runic attacks, but bro, it's fucking Kratos. You know how much this game would be better if they implicated a jump button and just zoomed the camera out just a little bit. It doesn't even have to be that much. Like, when I'm running around, I can just barely see his feet. If I hold the camera all the way up, then I can see his feet. But if I'm running in a straight line, like I would fucking normally do to run, you can't see anything. You can barely see his knee. You can't see his thighs. Like you can't see anything, man. So just imagine trying to fight a guy who has damn near infinite amounts of health for a title like God of War, and for there to be no fucking jump button is probably the craziest shit of all time. Like, that's like saying Call of Duty no multiplayer or some shit like that. I'm telling you, the jump button was that essential to God of War. You can't even jump in a game called God of War. Like, I can't even believe I have to say this shit. Like, do you not believe the magnitude of this? He can't fucking swim. He can't jump across this 2-foot barrier. He can't do this, bro. He can't even slide through here. Like, it's stupid. It's stupid as fuck. Like, the restrictions they put on you just for you to play the game how they intended. Like, that's what I hate about it. This game is so one-minded. Like, it literally is. Like, look at the puzzles on this. You can literally tell that there's a route over there that you have to go through, and all of this swing here, do this, do that. But the puzzles is so redundant, and like, why is all throughout all the 9 realms is there all this puzzle shit that's just there for Kratos? Like, I know that fucking games are like that, but when you look at a game that wins Game of the Year and the amount of effort they put into the loot, the lore, and everything else between the weapons and just the different storylines that you can do, it's not even close. It's not fucking close at all. And the criticisms on this game is very, very fair. I don't give a fuck if they made the graphics to where it look like you're playing a VR. Like, well, I don't know if VR graphics aren't better than PS5 graphics, but I'm just saying, like, the immersion, I don't care. I don't care if I was that immersed in a game where I felt like I was playing a VR. I don't give a fuck, man.